What did ancient humans do when there was no food? Imagine waking up with nothing to eat. No farms, no grocery stores, no refrigerators, no guarantee that you would find your next meal before the sun went down. For most of human history, this wasn't unusual. It was simply life. A single failed hunt could leave an entire family hungry. Yet despite living under this constant threat, humans survived. They spread across deserts, forests, mountains, frozen tundras, and coastlines, eventually becoming the most adaptable species on Earth. So how did our ancestors survive when food simply wasn't there? The answer begins long before farming, cities, or civilization. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Every meal came directly from nature. On fortunate days, hunters returned with large animals that provided enough meat for the entire community. Gatherers collected wild fruits, berries, nuts, edible roots, and plants. But nature was never predictable. Animal herds moved on. Fruit trees became empty. Rivers yielded fewer fish. A drought or violent storm could erase familiar food sources in a matter of days. Sometimes hunting parties returned with nothing at all. Periods of hunger were not rare. They were expected. To survive, early humans had to become incredibly flexible, constantly adapting to whatever nature offered. But perhaps humanity's greatest survival tool wasn't a spear. It was cooperation. When food was found, it wasn't always kept by the hunter who caught it. It was shared. Children ate, elders ate. The injured and the sick received their share as well. This wasn't simply generosity. It was a practical survival strategy. The successful hunter of today might be the starving hunter tomorrow. By sharing food, communities increased everyone's chances of surviving difficult seasons. Scientists believe this strong social cooperation gave early humans an important advantage over many other prehistoric species. Humans also learned an important lesson. Never depend on just one source of food. When large animals disappeared, they adapted. They dug edible roots from beneath the ground, collected wild berries and fruits, gathered nuts that could be stored for months, caught fish in rivers and lakes, collected shellfish along coastlines, climbed dangerous cliffs to gather bird eggs. Some groups even relied on insects, which are naturally rich in protein. Over countless generations, they carefully observed nature, learning which plants were safe, which were poisonous, and which became edible only after cooking. This remarkable ability to learn allowed humans to survive almost everywhere on Earth, from scorching deserts to dense forests, towering mountains, tropical jungles, and even the frozen Arctic. Very few animals have ever matched that level of adaptability. Then hunger began changing something even bigger. It changed where people lived. Whenever food became scarce, communities packed up and moved. They followed migrating herds across endless grasslands. They explored river valleys rich with fish. They settled along coastlines where shellfish were abundant. Generation after generation, these journeys carried humans farther from their original homeland. Archaeological discoveries show that the search for food eventually spread our species from Africa to nearly every continent on Earth. In many ways, hunger became humanity's first great explorer. Then, around 12,000 years ago, one simple observation changed history forever. People noticed that seeds dropped near their camps eventually grew into new plants. For the first time, humans realized they didn't always have to search for food. They could grow it. That discovery marked the beginning of agriculture. Temporary camps slowly became permanent villages. Food could be stored. Populations increased. Villages grew into towns. Towns became cities. And civilization began to take shape. Looking back, our ancestors didn't survive because they were the strongest animals on Earth. They survived because they learned faster. They shared more. They adapted better. And they never stopped exploring. Every meal we enjoy today is connected to thousands of generations of people who refused to surrender to hunger. Their resilience shaped our history. Their discoveries built our civilization. And their determination ensured that humanity would not only survive, but thrive.